gonna talk about Vtubing, which is better 2D or 3D. And honestly, this should be a pretty short video, depends on whichever you prefer. But for the sake of this, I'll go through the pros and cons that I found. There's a lot of these videos out there. I'm probably not saying anything groundbreaking or new, but this is just my opinion, my experience. So let's get started. I personally prefer the 2D look, which is why I use my 2D avatar way more than I use my 3D. But sometimes I do get in a bit of a 3D mood and use my Vroid model. Why I prefer 2D though is because it's much more expressive than Vroid, I think, or 3D. Like, there's no limit on the expressions you can do. You could be like, ah, or you could be like, oh my gosh, yowie. You could be like, oh my goodness, I'm in a conundrum. You could squee. I love the squee face. You could just go squee. You could sledge up. You could be like, and you could cry. I do have a crying animation for this expression, but I don't know how to put it into VTube Studio. I'm still learning some stuff, but I do have some teardrops that should fall, but they're not going to yet, but they will. But till then I could just be like, boo-hoo, I'm sad. I'm so sad my tears won't fall. I have a yandere face where I could be like, no one will love you as much as I do, senpai. I'm the only one for you. Love me. And then I could be like, oh, I'm mad and I'm angry. Feel my wrath. I don't think 3D has near as much expressiveness as 2D. Granted, 3D I only have experience with Vroid, so maybe that's the problem, but so far in my experience, I think that you can be much more expressive in 2D. I think 2D has better tracking than 3D in my experience. You see, for 2D, I use VTube Studio. Unless I'm streaming, I use PRPR Live, because every time I open up VTube Studio, they're like, hey, you better not be about to stream, because you better have good internet if you're about to stream. If you don't have good internet and you're about to stream, I'll kill your whole fucking family. And that scares me a little, so I'm like, oh gosh, I'll just use PRPR Live for streaming. Yeah, I'm very scared of streaming in VTube Studio. I'm scared something will go wrong. I went through quite a few 3D trackers, free ones, because, well, there's just really not many good ones. The one I stuck with for the longest was 3Team, but I just couldn't. Its tracking sucked. It doesn't follow your eye movements. It just follows your head, really. One thing I liked about it was that 3Team gave you a squee face. That's not the squee face. The squee face. And they gave you a lot of like poses and animations you could attach to your model, and I loved that. But I just really wanted better tracking. So, after going through so many trackers, so many, I eventually ended up using VCFace, which I think is the best tracker. There's no settling in your character design. Whatever you want your model to have, they can have it. As far as Vroid goes, you can't have these bunny monkey hair clips. You can, but I draw them on because I think they're cute. And I just draw them and they get to be there. Wanna go 3D? You might have to settle. Assuming you're not using stuff like Blender, which good luck if you are. Some cons though, some cons. If you're thinking, oh gosh, I can't be 3D because 3D sucks. I gotta be 2D now. Let me tell you about the cons. There's cons. The commissions are hella expensive. Unless you're like me and you did everything yourself, then it's just like that's what we commoners do. We gotta just do it ourselves. I've seen bonkers expensive commissions. I've seen people charging like several $1000s just to rig. And I do commissions, pretty cheap commissions. If you want me to draw up your model, it's $100 if you want a bust model. If you want a half body, it's $150, and if you want a full body, it's $200. And I charge the same for rigging. Bust $100, half body $150, full body $200. So yeah, if you're looking at commissions, consider me. If you wanna, no pressure, but I don't want to have to tell you what happens if you don't. I've also heard of, which I'm not sure how often this happens because this has never been a predicament I'm in because I've only ever worked with myself, but you may have to get a different artist and a different rigger. Not everybody can do it all like I do. Some people are one-trick ponies, no disrespect. Sometimes, like in my most recent video about cutting up models, there's different ways different people cut things up, and it might not be very compatible with the way the rigger likes to rig. Again, this isn't a situation I've ever been in. It's just something I've heard of happening, and I'm not sure how often it happens. Just something that you should keep in mind if you are if you're commissioning two people. Now, onto 3D. I wanted to show you guys my brand new model, but I'm going through some technical difficulties. My eyes aren't supposed to look like that. So let's go to my old Vroid model. Okay, that's better. Okay, so my 3D model was made entirely in Vroid. I didn't go to anywhere else. Not that I didn't try. I really want to enhance it with Blender, but I really don't know how. Every tutorial I see on it loses me. I'm a caveman with technology, but I think it still turned out pretty. I did use some boost stuff. I used for my face. I used the booth, and I used booth again for eyes. No, not eye. Yeah, eyes for my eyes for my eyes, and I used a makeup booth. I'll leave the links for those down below. But yeah, I made this dress myself though. Look, it's cute. Vroid is very limiting, so for my chocolate banana horns, I had to make it out of hair. And like I said earlier, you have to settle for things with your designs if you want to be 3D. For example, I don't have my demon wings no more, nor do I have my tail. Like I said, a lot of 3D trackers aren't that expressive for some reason. It's the weirdest thing, but they're not. It's just so weird. But VC Face has this cool thing in the settings. In general settings, you can set it to simple and it follows fun, angry, and surprised. So it follows your expressions pretty well that way if I'm surprised, or if I'm angry, or if I'm happy. It would be nice. I still think it would be nice if I could be a little bit more expressive, but this is as good as it's gonna get, I think. I wish I could go into things like Blender, but I just don't know how. VRChat is really easy to use and it's free. Used to the biggest difficulty was hair, but ever since they made hair presets, I don't think that'll be too big an issue these days. It might still be an issue if some of the presets aren't what you like. I still find the presets a bit limiting in some way. They don't have everything, but they have simple, like I said earlier, if you want to go VRChat, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices in your design choices. It has cheaper commissions, typically, from what I've seen. I don't know anybody who's charging thousands for like VRChat commissions. I charge like $90 because it's such an easy, simple thing to do. I don't see why you wouldn't do it yourself, so that's why I'm just like, oh shit, just give me $90, I'll do it for you, I guess. I think it's nice to get into VC phase, and it's fun to, and VRChat's a really fun program, I think. Very easy to use. One thing I don't like in the update is, whenever you go try to do your hair bounce, your hair physics, it does this weird thing when I load it up in the VC phase where just the hair is wonky and out of place, and I don't like it. If you have Blender, you can make your model a lot more unique. Anyway, thank you for learning with me today. I'm not sure if there's anything I should add. Oh, I've heard that it takes more power on your computer to use 3D than 2D, but I use both, and sometimes my computer feels like a total potato, so I'm not sure how much of an issue that is. But yeah, that's something I heard. Anyway, thank you for learning with me today. I hope this was somewhat helpful. If you're still trying to decide, you can do both. I do both. I'm not like the gatekeeper and like you can't do both or either. You can do whichever one you want to. I'm not your dad. Just do what you want to do, and don't let anyone tell you you can't, or just do what you gotta do. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay? So don't feel discouraged. Don't feel like you can't do it, because you totally can. You want to be 3D? Go be 3D. VRChat is so fucking free. It's freer than a butterfly. I don't know. Guys, it's free, okay? Costs you $0. Just play around in it. If you want to be 2D, there's free ways to do that. There's like hell, the Live 2D has like a 42-day free trial, and that's plenty of time to learn how to make your own model. And if you have any questions, I'll be so happy to help you, 2D or 3D. No one's better than the other. It's all on personal preference. You can do what you want. I believe in you. Okay? I believe in you. Mwah.